Okay, you may notice that the video's paused. That's because I'm a genius and I did this entire recording as well as one other one without actually doing the voice stuff. So I'm going to voice over this video. It's probably going to be out of sync. I'll basically be watching it and then commenting in real time as to what's going on. So anyway, let's get started. So this video is about migrating from an internal ZVM database to an external database. Get asked this occasionally in terms of, hey, my Zerto environment's growing. When is it time to scale up? So there's a whole official guide on kind of the maximums of the internal database. But this guide is to show you how to actually move internal to external using the new management GUI. So eventually, this guy will stop talking here, and we'll jump over to RDP and show you how to do it. Can't believe I did this. Like this is like an hour worth of work. Completely forgot to check my audio settings. So um, anyway, luckily this video is only 9 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. So let's fast forward him a bit. All right, so we get into the lab here. Um, Basically, all I'm doing here is just showing you that I have a working lab. It's brand new. There's only one BPG. I just started syncing. I have some VRAs, but that is about it. It doesn't really matter whether it's brand new or not. I just wanted to show you that I had an operational ZVM. Here I'm showing you that from the management console, you can see that it is an internal database, denoted by the checkbox there. And basically, what we'll eventually do is check the external box and go that route. So as you can see here, I had two SQL servers. Like I said, in the next video that I do, it's a little bit longer. I moved from SQL 1 to SQL 2. But for this video, we just need SQL 1, so we'll get rid of SQL 2 there. Go ahead and log in. You'll notice it's on a domain, but just keep in mind that for ZVMA, you have to use a SQL user. You cannot use an AD integrated user, simply because the Linux box doesn't support it. So anyway, what we're looking at here is that we do not have a ZVM underscore DB machine right now, or a database rather, on this SQL server. But this is where we're going to move to. One thing to note, let me pause the video here real quick. Um, we, or I, am using a named SQL instance. So if you're using the default instance, your URL probably be a little bit different. But I'm using a named instance. I don't know what I was thinking this morning. I guess I was just trying to complicate my entire day. Um, so anyway, mine is just Z SQL 1 and Z SQL 2 for the other video. But when I come over here and go into external DB, basically the first time I put this in, I totally messed it up. I did not put the instance name. I just put the IP address, which is .63, but I forgot to put the named instance. So had the right username, had the right password. I hit configure. I sit around for like a minute, kind of looking all dumbfounded as to why it's not working. Well, guess what? It's because I didn't put the name in there. So I'm going to fast forward us here a little bit, and we'll get to the point where I kind of explain that. Um, so I'm checking, still no database. It kind of hangs out at 10%, and then timed out. So now that you're seeing it go from 30 to 50 and on up, you'll notice up there that I added the name of the instance type, or of the SQL instance, and now it's progressing. So takes it just a little bit. I mean, really, I think this database is only like 80 megabytes. Doesn't even have a lot of log data in it yet, so it moves pretty quick. Most of the time that we spend in this video is just making sure that the services and things restarted. But once we go in here, there you go. You see that it did create the database. It's going to move all the data into it, and eventually it will kind of rev up and get all the way to 90. It sits at 90 a little bit. Let me fast forward some more here just to save you a little time. I do log into the appliance, and I'll show you how. Basically, to check the service, you notice that it did a pod restart about a minute before. This is coincides with about the same time that it moved the data. So it's at 60. Zoom a little ahead. Oh, oh, back up a little bit. Um, there we go. There it's at 90. Oh, hold on. Let me stop fast forwarding on you. There we go. Back up to 90. This is basically where it's just verifying that all the other services and things have started up. Excuse me. So you can see been up and running for over 2 minutes. And if I remember right, fast forward a little more here, we get a bad gateway. It just means that it was still starting up in the process. Eventually, we will see. I verify that all the data is there. So I just grab a table, select some data. There's actual values there. Um, so then what we see here, fast forward too far. If I hit refresh again, basically it will go ahead and start up then. So it took a little bit to get the services all restarted and happy again. But the big thing to do once you've done this is come back in, check your VPG, and make sure that it's getting checkpoints. So this was quick enough that it didn't freak out and tell me that my VM had been protected for, not enough time, things like that. If in the next video you'll see that we will eventually kick some errors, but it's just because of the amount of time that it took me to do stuff. But again, check to make sure your VPGs are getting checkpoints. If you notice here, the clock on the Windows side is 11 minutes after 10. We're getting checkpoints that are valid, same exact time. So that means that the ZVM is fully online, operational, it's inserting things into its database, good to go. So with that, it really is that simple for the internal to external migration. We're literally just going to go and specify some new settings in the appliance manager, and then hit reconfigure. Zerto will take care of doing the rest. It's about that simple. Again, next video a little bit more complicated, and totally unsported, but I will show you how to move from one external to another using just regular SQL stuff. And that one could be used if you ever need to do like a SQL upgrade. You don't want to do an in-place upgrade. You want to like move it from one server to the other. So anyway, again, sorry for totally messing up my audio here and having to do a voiceover. Hopefully, it doesn't make the video too horrible, but I think that will do it for this video. Have a good one.